to tell you a little story about how back during the COVID times, I was heavily pregnant and I was in a high pressure job. And I thought to myself, why not share how I was able to navigate that time and how God showed up. And it was just marvelous to see His grace and favor upon my life. And I hope this encourages someone who is listening right now. So, yeah, back in the 2020, um, I was actually heavily pregnant. But when I first found out, I was in a work meeting, and it occurred to me that I was starting to feel very fuzzy and just becoming a bit more frazzled in my speech. And I was like, okay, what's happening? Because my body is reacting to something, and I'm not typically used to this feeling. And so later that week, I was like, okay, the feelings are still there, but I'm in a bit of pain. And this happened while I was in Bible study. And I thank God at the time, my Bible study leader was able to just quickly take us to the hospital, my husband and I. And it's then that we found out that we were pregnant at midnight. And so obviously I was overjoyed. I was a bit, uh, surprised. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, maybe this wasn't a surprise at all. But yeah, I was just in the flurry of emotions, and I thank God I had my husband there to hold me, and also a supportive boss. And I couldn't have done it without just that grace and support all around from all my family and friends. Now, fast forward into delivery. So at this time, I was really cramping. I had already um, a lot of pain, and every time the doctor was checking, the nurse was checking, I wasn't dilating. So it became clear that there was need for an emergency CS. And bearing in mind, I had spent time and energy and money preparing for natural birth. But yeah, story for another day. So yeah, I ended up getting into an emergency CS, and that's because I was leaking meconium. And for those who don't know, it's basically when the baby is pooping, and it's quite a dire situation if not handled pretty quickly. So I ended up going for a CS, and it was very um, interesting. I wasn't scared per se, but I had and I think it's because I had my Bible study pray for us. Then it's because just the night before we were in Bible study, and I asked them to pray for us, and it was just very sobering, and at the same time it was very settling, and I became really calm in the process. I knew God was with me, God was in the room, and they played for me some rock music, and it was very um, calming because that's the music I grew up with. So, and then they took a video of me giving birth, or at least them slicing up my tummy. So I will never forget that, and it was just a very calming experience, despite it being an emergency CS. And I just want to highlight the role of your community, and if you're in need of one or you're searching for one, I pray that you're able to find one that you can rest in, and you can serve in, you can rest in, and you can find your identity in if you are in search of that as well. So yeah, that's my story. More on this birthing story and pregnancy and navigating the pressures of a job in my next episode. See you then. Bye.